So I'd like to start by apologizing for my disheveled look, but I just got done working slash driving 19 hours, so forgive me if I look a little tired. Um, my inspiration for becoming a personal trainer started with my military background. Not long after being in the military, I started running physical training in the mornings as a fire team leader and a squad leader, and I just absolutely loved it. And then later in 2008, I was injured in Iraq and have gone through physical training on and off for almost 4 or 5 years now. And just everything I saw through there, the occasional good personal trainer that seemed interested in helping me fixing the problems I had. And then the other personal trainers that would just hand you a sheet of paper and say do these exercises and eventually it'll help. Um, that's the kind of stuff that's pushed me and made me want to become a personal trainer, to help people, to teach them the right things. Um, like I said, that was back when I was in the military about 2.5 years ago. Now my main inspiration is my family, my wife, my 3 daughters, and my overall health. After getting injured, I kind of fell off quite a bit, wasn't able to work out, and to this day I still don't completely trust my legs and my knee especially, which is what I injured, to stand up to a lot of weighted exercises the way I used to. But overall, I think I'm getting there, and that's why I'm here at Bryan University. Short term, my career aspirations are honestly just to become a personal trainer, get my foot in the door, to work at a gym, Ultimately, for me, it would be a CrossFit gym or a CrossFit box here in my area. Long term, I want to open my own CrossFit box, and I actually want to do that with my wife, who is also attending Bryan University and is actually a term ahead of myself. Um, there aren't a lot of CrossFits in our specific area. I live a little bit east of Reno, Nevada, and for the most part, it's kind of remote. So I think overall it'd be a really good opportunity for us if we could get a gym opened. Some of the certifications I'd like to get to fulfill these goals. Through Bryan University, I'm going to get the NASM certificate as well as a NSCA certificate. I think the NASM specifically, but both overall, will help me get my foot in the door to become a personal trainer. The NSCA certification is actually because I really like one of their specialty certifications, which is their TSAC facilitator, which is training for specialty forces, fire departments, law enforcement, military, which obviously with my background is a huge goal of mine. After those two certifications, my main focus will be CrossFit based. I want to start off with a level 1 CrossFit trainer, and I would also like to be CrossFit Kids certified, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but as I'm sure a lot of us have seen through this class and whatnot, CrossFit's kind of, I don't know the word, kind of like a scary area for a lot of people. They worry about injury, things like that, and the CrossFit Kids certification is that anyone of any age can do CrossFit. The CrossFit Kids certification is you're teaching kids everything we do as adults, from Olympic lifts, Metcons, HIIT, everything. Kids do it as well. So it's something I am really passionate about and would love to do. honestly, my associates at Bryan University, I think, will probably be the end of my training as far as schooling goes. That's because I think in this industry, certifications are going to get me further than more education because I don't want to necessarily be a physical therapist or a nutritionist or things of that nature. So I really think this experience here at Bryan University with the associates will be exactly what I need to keep moving forward in the industry. To me, the roles a personal trainer plays is that they're a motivator, they're knowledgeable, and they're selfless. And by selfless, I mean when you're there, you're training clients, it's all about the client. You're not thinking about yourself, you're not training yourself, you're trying to make them better, you're trying to help them achieve goals, you're trying to push them. I think a motivator is kind of obvious for a personal trainer. If you can't convince or you can't get your client to do what they need to do to better themselves, you're not doing your job. That's kind of the number one thing to me is you have to be able to get your clients to do things a lot of the times that they don't want to do or to push themselves beyond their normal limits. And knowledgeable, the fitness industry is always changing. You have to know what's going on. You have to know, what the newest fitness trends are. Are they safe? Is it stuff your client should be doing? And you've got to be able to apply it to your clients, because if they're hearing about new trends and they ask you and you have no idea, they're going to think you're not current and you're not knowledgeable, and they're going to look for somebody else that does know what it is, because the average person, all they care about is the stuff their friends told them, what they heard on the news or, read on the internet or anything like that. So you want to make sure you're current and up to date on everything. Inspiring clients is huge for me, and it's really big for me because, like I said, I have experienced quite a bit with personal trainers and with physical therapists, and I find that a lot of them lack the ability to inspire clients. So like I said, it's really, really important to me, and I'm going to do this by just establishing a rapport with my clients. I think a lot of the experience I have, the different things I've been through, I've done, heavy body lifting, I've done endurance training with the Marine Corps, I've been doing CrossFit, not quite since it started, but since 2006. I have a lot of experience, and I think I can bring that to my clients, and I think what I went through with my injury can also help me relate to clients who have dealt with similar things, whether they're scared or recovering from smaller injuries or larger injuries like I did. I can relate to them. I think another good way to inspire my clients would be to show them how dedicated I am to them. Not to the money. I'm not there just to be like, do a push-up, push harder, push faster. No, I want to show them that I'm dedicated, that I'm invested in what their goals are. I want to see them lose the 5 pounds. I want to see them, gain an inch on their biceps. Like, I want to help them reach their goals because it's what would make me happy. Personal trainers, I think, play the most important role in the fitness industry. Is, we're the medium between, kind of weird to say, but we're the medium between everyday society and the people who are making the certifications, doing the fitness type stuff. And what I mean by that is that, if something in the fitness industry needs to change, if there's a trend coming, a new exercise, a new form of working out, we need to be relaying that to the clients, the people at the gym, things like that nature, so that things are taught properly and efficiently, and that so we look knowledgeable, like I spoke about earlier. Um, but obviously, to me, the biggest part for that is the safety side of it. Um, I hear all the time. I heard in this class, I've heard people talk about it. They always talk about how CrossFit is dangerous and has a high risk for injury, which I agree. It's definitely true. I think it's a cop out for a lot of people because that applies to everything. Um, I've injured my shoulders. I've thrown up my back. Um, I've twisted ankles, knees, just doing basic bodybuilding, running. Before I even started doing CrossFit, I had these type of injuries. Um, Improper form, you know, getting into stuff before you're properly ready can always cause injury. Everybody relates it to CrossFit because they think it's more advanced. It's not. If you go onto the CrossFit website and you look at the workout and you're like, yeah, I'm going to go do this, that's a personal decision you made. You should know right away from looking at a workout when they're calling for you to do power snatches or overhead squats and they're exercises you've never done before. It's pretty clear you shouldn't be trying them, especially with heavyweight. So I think that kind of stuff, I think if when CrossFit would have started, if it was more prevalent with trainers and stuff in the industry, explaining it and explaining, how important it is to have safety and a base and good training for Olympic lifts, things of that nature, we could have avoided a lot of the negative connotivity that currently CrossFit has. Sorry about the little rant there, but that's just how I feel. Like that's what I think the biggest role for personal trainers in the fitness industry is we need to be the medium for how information's flowing back and forth, between certifications where things are going to clients, and if you're working with clients and you see certain new things are working, certain exercises, certain groups exercises, things like that, it's something to be passed along to your peers as personal trainers, teachers you've had, things of that nature, so that it gets, spread throughout the industry so it can be researched and, determined whether it's effective or not. The trainer I observed was a male CrossFit trainer at a CrossFit box there in Reno, Nevada, and I personally loved it. I think he met all the roles I expect in a personal trainer. I mean, you could tell right from the get-go that he was dedicated. He was running, the time when I first got there, he was running a class of about 15 individuals. The workout was scaled for everyone, but they were all doing the same workout. And, he went individual to individual, checking form, helping them count reps, talking to them, things of that nature. And then after our discussion, I stayed and watched him do a little bit more, I guess, personal workouts. Something that I'm pretty familiar with, he was doing CrossFit strength bias with a couple clients, which is, he was teaching them how to do, the client I saw, he was doing deadlifts, and then they did a heavy metcon, which is pretty much HIIT, high intensity training. But it was just awesome. And when he was doing the workout with the group, just the motivation, him running back and forth, he was grabbing barbells and the kettlebells, and he was doing exercises, and he was showing them, how it should be doing it. And when he saw people starting to really strain and start to lose the integrity of how they were lifting and their form, he would stop them and explain that you always want to finish the workout. You always want to push yourself as hard as you can, but you never want to do it to the point of failure, to the point that you're going to injure yourself. So form always came first, and that was huge to me because the safety and stuff like that with lifting is a real big deal to me, because just being in the Marine Corps, what I saw, the people I worked out with, just being at the gyms, I saw a a lot of people in gym. When I did my physical therapy, 95% of the people I saw came from either endurance running during normal Marine Corps physical training or improper lifting at the gym. And it was just sad to see because I really didn't have personal trainers in the Marine Corps. You went to a gym, they had weights, you lifted heavy things. That was just kind of how it went. But the trainer I observed was definitely everything I want to strive to be, and hopefully I can do that soon. Thanks for listening to my presentation.